What's up people, welcome back to Rhys King's Gaming Channel. I'm Rhys King as always, and today we're here to play some more of The First Tree. Man, I played this yesterday myself, the first half, and you guys are going to see it literally we're like a day behind each other when it comes to recording. So, we're in this together, man. I just want to experience this and continue playing. I really loved it so much, this first little bit that we played. And now we get to experience some more together, so let's just kick back, relax and enjoy. And if you did actually not see yesterday's episode, I really do urge you to go and experience it. Ooh. Ooh. Nice mattress, bro. Can I jump on this mattress? Boing! Boing! I love this. Oh look, you can. I didn't even realise this until I started recording this episode, but you can scroll right out and just be at a distance, which I love, or you can come right into it, so really kind of nice. This game is so stunning. And to be honest with you, the music as well is really lovely. I hope to fucking God it's not copyrighted. I want to come back in on it a bit. I like being close to the fox. Number one, I said yesterday, you know, foxes really are my favourite animals. I think they're fascinating. They're like the perfect hybrid of a dog and a cat. And I would love to own one. Maybe one day. The channel pet. Rhys the King's pet is a fox. Go figure. What's this thing? How do I catch it? What? What? How do I catch it then? This is not particularly explaining. Oh, I see. I have to kind of nod with it. I get it. Woo! Pretty sure that I would have killed this poor little fox, but let's not get hung up on the reality of it. Because this is a dream after all. It's a beautiful dream sequence. Stunning in every which way. Beautiful in every single day. I see a star. Let us go for it. Oh, I just love pouncing around like this. There's another game I played as a fox. Probably about 6 months ago. That's an amazing game. I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. Look at me! There's a house stuck in the ground. Why not?
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards.
Nice.
What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real. Growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out.
Yeah, it would do,
Guess
really.
it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, They were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but you know, I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
Oh, that's an odd story, but still kind of beautiful. I was kind of hoping that was going to be one of those noddy things that I need. I need to bow to 2 more of those things, and I assume that'll be what leads me through to the next section of the game. But I really like exploring this area. This is a really pretty area. Oh, more story. And a bow thing. Yeah, sick. Oh, I mean, I urge to find the person who does not think this game is gorgeous. I had a little look at the Steam reviews last night for this game after getting off of it, because it actually has really positive reviews. And I have to say, most people are delighted. Some people are bitching.
Tested him the most. He kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me. My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
It's really quite sweet. What a lucky fellow. You know, it is true and it is funny that when you get a little older, you see things differently for the way that your parents have brought you up, or the way that you've been treated, and you ever thought was like, oh, it's super unfair, but actually it's really not, and it's just about them caring and loving for you. But it's funny how that works, how you see things differently throughout your whole life. Like, I think each time you get that bit older, you get another thing, or each time you live a new life experience. Like when I became a parent, that shit changed my perspective a lot on how my parents had been with me.
we were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on, just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. But then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
Another very true statement. Oh, God, this game is really chilling me out. I do kind of want to know where the hell this last thing is, though. Not that I'm stressed about it, because I actually really am loving just running around. I more want to find it. Ooh, I found it. I found a new area. So that's wonderful. A new place to explore. Very nice. I need to get right up top of this thing. It's just about finding the correct way of doing it. I have a sneaking suspicion that I may have done exactly that. Let's go. Boing. Hells yes. And now I'm fairly sure that those vines that we found earlier, they're going to have opened up. And we're going to be able to go right through there. Although it was suddenly sort of occurring to me as I was running along, because I was just thinking for a little while, if I'm honest. I was just playing and running around, and nothing happened story-wise, so you don't need to feel like you've missed anything. But yeah, I started thinking, I was like, I really hope this doesn't end badly, this game. And I don't mean like bad as in like a shit ending, I mean like just dread stuff. I just want it to be tranquil, man. I want it to keep this vibe that I've got. Just the feels, the thoughts. It's making me really think about me and my dad. And just how lucky we are sometimes to have really good parents. Found our way to the correct area. And to be honest with you, I'm super intrigued to see what's next. Oh look, I was right. My guess was correct. Yay! What's up there? What the hell is that bastard? A wolf?
The perpetrator stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing was wrong. My dad is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
Unfortunately, I know that feeling. It's really sad. Because unfortunately I lost my mum. And it's hard. That they won't get to see everything. I think that's the thing, you know, when you lose a parent, it's just hard knowing that they won't be able to see everything that you get to do with your life, their grandchildren and stuff, you know. This has been a really fantastic game. Sorry if I got a bit quiet there, man, but just like I say, when you lose a parent, it's just like part of your soul goes with it. And I hope that you guys hopefully don't know what that feels like, and hopefully you won't know what that feels like for a very, very long time. It's quite a powerful story, actually. Well, gotta say, might be one of the first games that I've ever played that have actually got to me like that. Where I do just makes me think about stuff. And sometimes you kind of shut out a little bit. Sometimes you don't want to think about stuff all the time. I don't know, for me personally, the way that I deal with it is just sometimes to pretend that you haven't spoken to someone in a really long time, but that you will do again one day. And then maybe it won't hurt as bad as it should, or it does. Sorry guys, I'm back. It really got to me. That really got to me.
I need to go to bed. I just can't talk about this anymore. Good night.
It's almost exactly how I feel. Where do we go? This way, through the valleys. What an incredible little game, man. I mean, I know that hit me probably differently, maybe hopefully, to how it will hit you guys. God, it's fucking... I'm normally like a stone when it comes to stuff like this. Oh wow. That is stunning.
Joseph, you can't go to sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like? You know what it's like not to have a mom at home. And you know how hard that made my childhood. What helped me was watching the birds in the morning before the school bus came. I thought that my mother was one of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her. My mom taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself I would fold one every day until I could fly myself.
This game's gonna fucking kill me, man.
I think we both have always loved animals, and for me that love started with a dog. Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line and wait at the fence for me, but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment. I would even steal money from my passed out dad just so I could buy these off-brand dog biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared? I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind. The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more I became the weird, quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty similar when it came to being the weird kids. And that same sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you. Life got worse and worse. And at one point, I really didn't think I could survive another day with my soul still intact. I had no real friends, let alone neighbors, since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus one morning, I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words.
Oh. God's sake, man. This game is just hitting me with the feels. I don't know if I missed a story, if I hit it too quickly, so I'm just going to check it. But this game is really hitting me up with the feels, man.
I summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike. I'll never forget that feeling. The wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly, and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you. You have strength, Joseph, and you're not as alone as you think.
It's all just so pointless. Just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the home I always wanted is cursed out of my reach. The thought of being a parent myself. How could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son? I'm sorry. I know what you're saying. I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years. We'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
Family.
I'm so glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
And I'm glad you're part of mine.
What a wonderful story. Accompanied by just stunning visuals, man. And I know I keep saying what a wonderful story and I keep talking about it. I just really connect with this game. Really, really. I could just run around on this for ages. Like I said earlier in this episode that I read a few reviews. And one of the reviews that I read said about the fact of when you're done with the game you'll want to go around and collect the extra stars. And honestly I think I probably will come back to this. Definitely not going to be a video. But it will be in my own time. Just to experience the running around. Losing myself in such tranquil, relaxing place. The hell was that noise? Are we going to become parents before the end of the game? Do you think that's what spurred this conversation and worry and stress on for the couple? Because before you do become a parent, you do get a lot of thoughts. The what ifs, the scaries, the excitement. A lot of good stuff. God blimey, that lens flare though. Very nice. Oops. Don't end on a way that I get angry. Come on. Mr. Fox. We never made a name for this guy up. Mr. Fox. I feel bad for that. I normally name everything. We'll call him Janet just for a laugh. Just because that's what I call everything in games. So, Janet the Fox. Which kind of makes sense, because I'm guessing this is a female fox, because she was looking for her cubs. Don't fuck up, thank you. So Janet. Janet. How dare you give me the feels this way, Janet? I'm a man made of stone. Nah, I'm joking. I'm not ready. I'm a big slobbering mess, just like every other person on Earth. I keep thinking this game's coming to an end, and then I have the very...
Fox knew her last cub would be waiting for her at the first tree. She was almost there. The rain cascaded onto the Jade Valley where the entrance to the tree was. Life was protected there, because that's where life began. It was now only a mother and a daughter left. Items from my life still dotted the ground as she moved closer to her destination. And destiny.
Wow. This is going to be a longer episode because I am going to finish this off this episode. Just because I feel like to do this game justice I should have played it in one episode. Unfortunately, like I said yesterday, there was just no way I could. Because I didn't have time, but I do today. Today I had the time to just sit down and embrace this for what it was made to be. I see story. What do we have here?
At the end of high school, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Drive. I looked into the best architecture schools on the West Coast, then got a dose of reality when looking at other students' portfolios and the high cost of tuition. I still wanted to be something, to be the next Alvaro Siza, and to make those thousands of sketches worth something in my grand history. But now even an internship sounds impossible. Siza helped me understand how essential emotion is in architecture. And he also said light is the real composer of space. I like to think these glints of light, like not finding a job or even a strange dream about a fox, are something I should be thankful for, even if the illuminated space is something I'm less than comfortable with.
Cool. Deep, bro. Deep. Spider house up here, and I really want to make it up there. God, I love jumping off stupid high stuff.
My dad
Just me
was
and the
super
fox.
supportive of my college plans, to a point. Things were okay until this terrible accident happened. I guess a forklift flipped over due to a bad axle, and it crushed one of the workers there. My dad didn't eat for days, even though he wasn't directly involved. It devastated him. Not only did it hurt the business, but it just freaked him out. He would talk in his sleep, muttering things about firing people and saying sorry. One fateful day he approached me, said that since my school search wasn't going well, I should finally be a man and take over the family business. He said one day he was going to die, and that all of his work, sacrifice, and even that man's life would be wasted in vain. I just lost it. Teenage me just exploded at the thought. I screwed up. I said things I shouldn't have. He was having a crisis, and I pretty much spit in his face.
It's okay. You're allowed to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Did I actually just come up here for no reason? I think quite possibly I'm not allowed in here. I've just Skyrim'd my way up. Out of pure joy. Fine. Fine by me. Zoom. Absolutely fine by me. But yeah, everyone makes mistakes, man. You can't beat yourself up over nothing. Big old soul. You can't beat up yourself over nothing. And the what ifs. Because hey, we're human. Ah. We're approaching another bit of the story. So you might be wondering why there's jump cuts in this, but it's literally just because sometimes I'm spending 10 minutes running around looking for the next bit of story.
Was that the last time you talked to him?
No, I called on holidays, and he would call on my birthday. I guess we acted like nothing ever happened, which was stupid. He didn't want to ask about his lumberyard, and I'm sure he didn't want to ask about my job search. I never went back and visited. I think the last conversation we had was about what movies we had seen and what exactly a best boy is in the credits. I thought he would be here so much longer.
It's where you don't ever take anything for granted. Oh God.
In the distance, the first tree illuminated the wasteland. She couldn't go home anymore. She did the only thing she was capable of. Moving forward. My dad died alone in the middle of the wilderness. I should have been talking to him more. I should have done a lot of things differently.
If the first tree on earth brought life with it, if it taught the birds to sing and fly and showed saplings how to grow, what could it do for us?
Beautiful. Poor fox has lost 3 cubs as well. Like, I hate to spur away just from the story, but that makes me sad in itself.
There was a letter I received yesterday from a name I didn't recognize, with a quote I can't stop thinking about. Death is not the opposite of life, but a part of it. More and more, I'm realizing one important truth. Each of us have our own journey to the first tree. But sometimes I'm not sure I'm ready to take that first step.
You already have my love.
God. Absolutely amazing. Oh, I really hope this translates to this video and to yesterday's video just as much as it has with me. I hope it resonates with at least one other person. Just some of the stuff that they're talking about. I really do. I hope that at least one person can find this video that this game is going to resonate with and just make as much sense and give as much feeling as it has done for me. The first tree awakens and gently asks if there is one last message the fox wants to tell her children. She replies back and says, "I love you."
I guess her journey was over, but I have no idea. It was only a dream, a distraction from tomorrow.
I don't think dreams normally bring back to memory so many important feelings. Maybe it was just a dream, but it was also a gift.
Yeah, I suppose. But tomorrow we're getting on a plane to the last place on Earth I want to be. The only person that would have made the trip worth it is gone.
You're going to see him and be with him one last time before you say goodbye. I have one last quote for you by Emerson, sealed in an imaginary letter from me to you. It is the secret of the world that all things subsist and do not die, but only retire a little from sight and afterward return again. Go to sleep, my love. We have a big day tomorrow. but I'll be there with you every step of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Good night, Rachel.
Good night, Joseph.
Six months later. What? Okay, so this is Joseph and Rachel. Am I now in Alaska? Oh, here goes. We're pregnant. We're gonna have a child. We're gonna have a little baby. That's so exciting. I was gonna see. No, I did say about this earlier, didn't I? I wondered if that'd be the case. What spurred on all these thoughts? I mean, it turns out it's actually his dad's funeral. But you know. Ah, it's the fox. I'm sure I saw this light up for a second over here. That very much confused me. What a beautiful game. Only like I've told you that 44,226 times. I'm a fox! What am I doing? I'm just running out into the night. Oh wow. Northern Lights. Or is it just sunrise? Gorgeous. Is there a way over this? Okay. Well, I officially don't know what I'm doing now, so do I need to get a key for that gate, maybe? I think we're back in my home. I think that's what's going on here. Because that's my dad's old crappy truck that he spoke about, and wow. Jeez. Found another area where we used to go camping. Kind of guess we're living some of those memories.
What the hell?
The fox. Fox my dad, or a symbolized version of my dad, quite possibly. Hello, I do think you're kind of nuts running off in the middle of Alaska just down a hill. I would say that's probably not advisable. Wow. I love the way that it finished off in this more realistic world, giving you that feeling, you know, from taking you from the dream world to this world. That's amazing. Plus it looks fucking beautiful. Alaska is one of those places that I really would like to visit. I don't want to keep talking like it's the end of the game either, because I legitimately have no idea anymore. Just beautiful. I just want to enjoy this song. Like I said before, man, I don't want to make a joke with this too much, just because of how it's made me feel. And it's just, considering I literally broke me down earlier, I feel like I'm leaving this with a smile, you know? Because although it's taken me through some painful memories in my own real life, it's kind of left me feeling good. And I like that. I love that. Come here, Mr. Fox. This is going to be the tree. This is the tree I carved my name in with my dad. My dad carved the stories into the tree. That was just amazing. Thank you so much for sitting with me and just going on this journey with me. And I'm sorry if I've been a little bit emotional through this. I'm sorry if that's made you feel awkward for watching. But I'm not sorry for being that way. Because it's very rare that something makes me feel that way. Wow. Alright guys, so I'm going to have to leave it there, man, because I could just quabble on about this forever. Wow. If you enjoyed this, guys, please smash the like button. Share this with a friend, man. If you know anyone that maybe could walk through the same experience I have with this game, I think this is a good game to play. Or watch me, whatever. I don't mind. Either way, guys, thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.